Hey everyone, and welcome to Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Today we're going to be doing another crochet kit that I got from Five Below. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we are going to be doing Elphaba from Wicked. If you have not seen it yet, I had just finished doing Glinda. Anyway, that one was a cute one. I'm hoping that the instructions on this are just as good as the Glinda one. This was made by Innovative Designs, LLC. They are crochet kits. These aren't the knitting kits from Bright Stripes at Five Below. But, not too shabby, these ones. The Halloween ones were a nightmare, so I really was writing off Innovative Designs. But I did get requests to do the Wicked characters. So first one was good. Let's see what this one is going to do. So in this kit, you're going to get some hooks, a sewing needle. It looks like it's metal, but it's plastic. Either way, still a hazard if you have children. This is supposed to be for 6 years old and up, I think. I think the last one said a number. I don't know. But anyway, comes with stuffing, safety eyes, and then a couple of spools of yarn and embroidery floss. And this looks like it's been opened, but we'll see. They tape them. The tape looks good on top. The tape on the bottom looks a little worrisome, but maybe because there's just so much in here. But as in the last kit, I was missing, I mean not missing, I ran out of the cream colored yarn. Ooh, look at this. I love green. We have the stuffing here. Oh, we have two stuffings. Oh, you think they proportion it off? That's interesting. Or maybe they found out that this wasn't enough. This is the similar one to what they had in the other box. Maybe they're like, ooh. The little packet of embroidery floss, crochet hook, and safety eyes with backing. Oh my goodness. This is all the black you could possibly need. If we run out of black, this is crazy. We have our booklet of whatchamacallits, abbreviations. Alright, we're not going to be using these right at the moment, so I'm just going to slip that in the box, keep it all together. And then we have our instructions. Now, I can't show these instructions, or I can't give you specifics about it due to copyright. So if you have this kit, I highly recommend that you don't comment any specifics as well to protect yourself. But yeah, in saying that, this video is just a supplement to the kit. If you really want to make this kit, go ahead to Five Below or on their website and get these kits. I will be just showing you how to do the stitches step by step 3 times, and then I'll go about my normal way. And then if there's some sort of like explanations that you need per row or per round, I'll do that as well for you guys, because these aren't for beginners. I don't know why they keep like making this seem like it is, but it's not. They're tough. Even for me sometimes. So don't fret if you're having a hard time. Just take a break and come back. Oh, so this is the Glinda one. It does say 6-year-olds. I don't know. It's been a hot minute since I've been 6. I didn't learn how to crochet when I was 6. I think I learned how to crochet when I was like, oh, yeah, maybe 8, 7, yeah, maybe. Okay. Maybe 6-year-olds can't learn this. But yeah, on this box, yeah, it did have the 6 and up, and it has a needle. But anyway, for the crochet hook, I'm going to be using a 3.5 millimeter hook, in case yours doesn't come with it. But this is a pretty spiffy hook. It's made out of metal. I like the metal ones. All right, so in this video, just looking at it, the instructions look fairly similar to Glinda's. So I think this is going to be a 3-parter. It looks like we're probably going to get into the feet, legs, and body, and maybe part of the head for part 1. And then part 2, we'll do the head, skirt, arms, maybe part of the hair, not too sure. And then for part 3, definitely hair, hat, and assembly. All right, so we are going to get into this. Starting with the feet and legs. We have to make 2. I'm going to make the first one off camera, and then on camera, I'm going to do the second one. The first foot, you're going to fasten off. And then the second foot, we're going to go straight. We're going to end up, I was going to say sewing, crocheting it into the first leg. And I'll show you what that is when we get to it. All right, so what I like to do, let me see, let me just look ahead. What I like to do with this yarn here, all right, I noticed that there's a loop coming in from it. I wonder if I pull it, if it's going to be the other end, and yes, it is. It's very nice that they did that. I was going to say, you can probably find the other end somewhere here on the outside. I'm wondering where that is. I'm really, okay. So here's the other end on the outside. You can easily use, find this outside thread here. But when you start pulling, it's going to spin your spool of yarn, and that's not always fun. So as I say in all my videos when we're working with spools of yarn, try to get the one that's inside. And I'm really glad that they left a loop. So try to look very carefully. I saw something like this. I always look inside anyway, and I noticed that there was this loop, and so that's why I said, oh, I wonder if this is the other end. It is. So all you have to do is like put like a weight somehow, and when you pull it, nothing's gonna spin. It's just pulling from the inside. So that's what I like about it. And yes, sometimes you'll get a knot, and that's fine because you're gonna end up using it anyway. Hopefully it's not a crazy knot. Yeah, it just got wrapped around. But yeah, I like to do it like that. When you have spools like this, there's not much you can do. You just have to unravel it, but I'm trying to see if there's green in this leg. All right, yeah, there's no green in this leg, so we'll work with this when we get to a green part in the instruction. But yeah. All right, let's start. We're going to do a magic ring, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to take your yarn and wrap it 3 times around your finger with a little bit of overage so you can put your middle finger on top of it like that. Then we're going to straighten out our strands, loosen or tighten them up as you need it. Then take your crochet hook and we're going to slip it underneath the 3 strands. So now we're going to pull the hook back out, but we're going to hook this strand and pull it underneath these 2. So hook it, turn your hook to the side so that you can slip it underneath the 2 strands, like that. Then we're going to yarn over, which is putting the feeder yarn over the hook, like that. And we're going to pull this through the loop. From here you can let go of your middle finger, and then you can slip the rings off your index. So we are working with a dark color, so the stitches might be hard to see, but hopefully you'll be able to see it on your end. Alright, so for our first round, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches. So let me show you how to do that in a magic ring. Stick your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So here's our first single crochet stitch. If you look at it on the side, we have a front loop and a back loop, If you look at it on top, you can see those two loops, the front loop and the back loop. Let's do this again. Stick your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have two loops on your hook, yarn over, and then pull through those two loops. So again, we have our front loops and back loops. We have 2 single crochet stitches now, and you can see those loops on each side. Let's do one more with you guys. So stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So again, front loops, back loops. If you look at it on top, you can see the 3 single crochet stitches and it looks like a braid. So rewind this part until you're confident into doing single crochet stitches on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the single crochet stitches in this magic ring. I forgot to mention, you guys, if you need to speed up or slow down the video, go ahead and click on the gear button in the corner. There are playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, you can lower the volume on your device, and then you can click on the CC closed caption button. So after we've done, let's see, did I do all of them? After we've done all of our single crochet stitches, what you want to do is overhand your hook. We're going to gently hold the bottom stitches with our thumb and index finger. I'm going to take my middle finger and hold the feeder yarn back. What you want to do is pull this excess piece. We're looking to see which one of these 2 loops goes into the magic ring first. So pull on this excess piece until you see movement and take note of which loop that is. Right, once you've identified which loop goes in first, what you want to do is pull this lower end of that loop out. So this is the one that moved. We're going to pull the lower end, which is this end near the excess piece, out from the magic ring, and you're going to see the other loop start to disappear. Keep pulling on that bottom part until that loop is completely gone into the magic ring. And then I'm going to pull this all the way out and pull in the opposite direction and up just to get a little bit more out of that magic ring. And then it should be completely closed at this point. Take a marker. These aren't included in the kit, but I highly recommend that you get them because they definitely help you out with your stitch count, with your row count. I've collected a whole bunch of these over the kits I've done, but now we're going to move on to the next round. All right. So for round 2, we're going to introduce the increasing stitch. Now the increasing stitch is basically taking 1 stitch and turning it into 2 by doing 2 single crochet stitches in there. So from here you want to count from the hook the number of single crochet stitches required for round 1. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's even hard for me to see in the dark yarn. All right, put your hook into that last stitch. What we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in the stitch to do an increasing stitch. So do 1 and then stick your hook into that same stitch we just used and do another one. So if you look closely, we have that 1 stitch and we made 2 single crochet stitches from that. All right, so let's go into the next stitch. And again, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in here. 1, stick your hook into that same stitch we just used and do another one. All right, Again, one stitch has 2 single crochet stitches. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in here. Do 1. Stick your hook back into that same stitch we just used and do the second one. So we have that single crochet stitch and we put 2 single crochet stitches in it. Alright, so I'm just going to go around and do the rest. You can rewind this video until you feel comfortable doing increasing stitches on your own. Once you've finished this round, you can remove your marker and we're going to put it underneath the braid from the last stitch we made. Like this. Make sure you clear it. You can pull it to see if it's nice and clear in there. Close this up and then we're going to do round 3. So round 3 we are introducing a set of parentheses instructions. So how these work is you're going to work the instructions inside the parenthesis the number of times that it says after. You'll see an X with a number. So it looks like we're alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. So do your single crochet stitches and increasing stitches, and then you just repeat that over and over again. I'm going to do that now. And this is all the way around, so you don't necessarily need to count how many parentheses you do, but in the end of this round, it would be really good to, there's a bracket at the end of each instruction with a number. That's going to be the number of stitches you should have at the end of the round. So like I said, you don't need to count the parentheses, but after you're done, I recommend that you go around and you count the number of stitches, and they should be equal to the number that's in that bracket. All right. And then you can remove your marker and put it under the last stitch you made. Make sure that it clears and that you're not splitting the yarn. But now we're going to do round 4. And round 4 is fairly simple. We're going to do single crochet stitches. I'll be right back. Let me get some yarn here. Okay. All right, so now for round 5, we are going to be doing some single crochet stitches, and we're going to introduce a decreasing stitch and then back to single crochet stitches. So do your single crochet stitches first. And then let's do a decreasing stitch. So unlike the increasing stitch, the decreasing stitch gets rid of one of the stitches. So we're going to use these two stitches here. What you're going to do is stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then we're going to stick our hook into the next stitch over. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Let's do another one. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. Okay. And then one more with you guys. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so you can rewind this part here till you feel comfortable to doing decreasing stitches on your own, but I'm going to finish my decreasing stitches and then do my single crochet stitches after. Alright, from here I'm going to remove this marker, put it under the last stitch we made. Now if you have noticed, our project is curling inward and that's natural, but what we want to do is flip it inside out, because right now we're looking at the wrong side. We have this excess piece sticking out too. So what you want to do is go ahead and flip this inside out. And you can curl this excess piece inside down at the bottom so you avoid crocheting into it later. But now we're looking at the right side and everything is nice and neat. Alright, so now we're going to do round 6. So again, round 6 is single crochet stitches, decreasing stitches, and then single crochet stitches. And then just count the stitches in the end. Alright, remove the marker, put it under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to do round 7. So for round 7, we are going to introduce using back loop only. So as I explained the anatomy of these stitches, we have the front loop and we have the back loop. So when we're using the back loop only, it really means that we're going to use the back loops only. So we're going to be also introducing a slip stitch. So two new things that we're going to be learning right now. So what you want to do is take your next stitch, put your hook not under the same two loops that we have been. What you want to do this time is stick it into the back. So we're just putting it through the back loop only. The front loop you can leave out in the front, of course. So to do the slip stitch, you just yarn over and then you pull through all the loops off your hook, like that. So let's do this again. Stick your hook into the back loop only, that's right here. We're going to yarn over and do a slip stitch and pull through all loops off your hook, like that. So you can see the new braids we're making, but you can also see a line of the front loops only. Alright, let's do this one more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next back loop only. Yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook. So we have 3 slip stitches here, and then we have 3 front loops only over here. So you can rewind this video as many times as you need to feel comfortable to do the slip stitch in the back loops only. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this round, and then I'll let you know what we have to do next. And when you do this, you guys, try not to be so tense in your stitches. You don't want to create tight stitches to where it'll change the look of your project, and it'll also make it harder for you to put your hook into after when we do the next round. So just try to go very lax with your stitching. That's why I underhand my hook like this. I feel like this way there's less tension in your hand. When you do it overhand, it's so easy to grip hard and make very tight stitches that way. So you want to kind of prevent that and just do an underhand grip. Alright, and then once you go all the way around, we're going to just replace this marker under the last stitch we made, and this one's going to stand for round 8. We're going to go 9, 10, 11, and 12. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm grabbing this number of stitch markers because we have I guess 5 rounds in the next set of instructions, and we're doing the same instruction of single crochet stitches. It wants you to fill after the fact, but I don't think that's the best thing, because as it gets narrower, and this hole is already small enough, once it gets narrow, it's going to get really difficult to get that stuffing all the way down here. So let's partial stuff for now. You can use your pinky, whatever works. Sometimes I'll use a pencil. But you want to fill it enough to where the boot is filled out. And when you're filling these boots, try to make them similar in size to the next one. Since I already did one off camera, you know, you don't want one to be too bulbous compared to the other. And I think there's a little bit more in here, but let's just start with this for now. Alright, so for the next 5 rounds, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches, and I am going to stuff as I go, maybe, if not in the end. And I'm going to do this in silence because it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. So, just detangle myself. All right, for round 18, we're going to be working the back loops only again. And we're just doing, interesting, we're just doing single crochet stitches. So, as I shown you before, here are the front loops and here are the back loops. We're just going to stick our hook into the back loop only, leaving that front loop by itself, and we're going to be doing single crochet stitches. And I find it odd because at the end of the instruction, I think this might be a typo, it says 2 rounds, but we're only doing 1 because it only says round 18. So I have a feeling that was residue from the Glinda one. Maybe they did the Glinda instruction first and then just used the same template, because I'm noticing some similarities in instructions from the previous kit. But yeah, this is just for round 18. So okay. Then for round 19, we're going to be alternating in parentheses single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. So let's do that. And we can go back to doing the regular sticking your hook into both loops, the front and back. Okay, so now for round 20, we're just going to be doing single crochet stitches. So let's do that. All right. Now for 21, we have another set of parentheses, and we're going to be alternating single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. We just gather up some more yarn. All right, and actually I'm going to take this last bit. This is from the previous kit, and I'm just going to stuff the legs a little bit more. Okay, so that's stuffed. And then it looks like we're going to be doing a few more rounds of this single crochet stitches and parenthesis sets. And the body is going to continue on to the head. So I like when things are like that. It gets a little crazy, but it's better than having to sew all the pieces together, because I don't really know how to sew very well. So I like when you just build it all in one piece. But for the head, I can't wait, because we're going to be using this really pretty green color yarn. And it would definitely be easier to see on camera. Alright, so let's alternate the single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. And for round 22 and 23, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches. I'm just going to do that in silence because that takes a bit. So this is going to be 22 and this one's going to be 23. Alright, so I completed those rounds. Let's do round 24 and we're alternating single crochet stitches with a decreasing stitch. All right. So it says to fill the body with stuffing, and then we're going to do round 5, which is a bunch of stuff in there. So let's do that now. I'm going to go grab some more stuffing. All right, so I got that one pack here. We're going to start filling in the body. Maybe I should have split that up a little bit. All right. So we have one more round before we have to move on to the head. So, so for the head, we are changing to green, and that means that in this last round, I'm not gonna do the last single crochet stitch because I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do to transition to the green. But there's a lot in this one, so we're going to take this by section. First, what you want to do is the single crochet stitch. And then the next section we have our decreasing stitch. And then we have our parenthesis of instructions, alternating single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. And we're repeating that the number of times that the instruction says to do. All right, so like I said, we're going to hold off on the last single crochet stitch. What you want to do is pull out the loop like this, exaggerated, so that we can put this aside and not lose the stitch. Then we're going to grab our green yarn here, and we're going to unravel this. Okay, now my trick for this is I can see the other end fairly easily. Set that aside. I'm going to split this open in half, and you can kind of see it by the loops that it's making. Anyway, I'm going to tuck this other end that we initially pulled out. So we have this situation here. I'm going to set this black aside. I've got like a little cylinder, and I'm going to put this green over it. So what we want to do, actually I think I need to flip this upside down. So we're going to cast on with a slip knot. Alright, to do that, you're going to take your ring, pinky, and thumb, hold one end, then the index and middle finger, and hold the other end like this. Then take your crochet hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around. so that you have a loop around your hook, and you can slide this up and down the yarn. Slide it down towards your thumb, and then hold your finger right where it crosses, and then I'm just going to gather up some yarn around my finger here, repinch the end, and then slide it the hook further down close to my thumb, and where it crosses just pinch the end. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the loop, and I'm going to overhand my hook, repinch this end, and push this knot towards the thumb. Keep pushing till it's either towards the thumb or it's too tight to push any longer. Then you can take your thumb and middle finger and just pull this excess piece a little bit more to make that knot a little bit more firm, and slide it up the loop like that. And we're going to take this off of our hook. Alright, so I'm gonna go put my hook back into this loop and just tighten it up by pulling on the feeder yarn. We're gonna do the last single crochet stitch on this round. We're gonna start it off with the black, so stick your hook into the next stitch. We're gonna yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. We're gonna set aside the feeder yarn for now, and then you're going to take your green and slip it onto your hook. Gather up some feeder yarn. We're going to pull this through those 2 loops to complete the single crochet stitch. And that's it. So we're going to replace this stitch marker under the last stitch we made. And let me go check the instructions to see if we are going to be doing any color changes, because then we're going to just cut the black off altogether. Alright, I don't believe we're going back to black, so I'm going to take about 1 inch or so and cut it. And then we're going to tie it twice around the green. It doesn't have to be tight, it just needs to be secure so you don't lose your stitches. And then you can stick this excess piece inside the body. Alright, so now for the head, in the back loops only, we're going to be doing single crochet stitches. Okay. So this will be easier to see. Yeah, so in the back loops only, we're going to do single crochet stitches all the way around. Look at that color contrast. All right, place the marker. Round 27. So we're going to be doing increasing stitches, and you can get back to doing both front and back loops. I don't know how much more of the head we can do. I'm trying to keep this video under 2 hours, or at least close to it. So we might have to do a hard stop, like I said, and then we'll continue on part 2. All right. Place the marker. And for round 28, we're going to be alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. All right. Now for round 29, this one's a rough one. We have a bunch of stuff going on, but as I mentioned, the easiest thing that you can do is just break it down into sections so that it doesn't look as overwhelming. So First we're going to do single crochet stitches and then increasing stitches. We have a set of parentheses, alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches times the number of times it tells you to do, and then we're going to end with single crochet stitches. Again, that is a lot, but let's just focus on everything in between the commas. So it's a section, comma, section at a time. I don't know what to call them. All right, now from here, I think we're about the 2-hour mark. Let me just double check one more time. If not, we'll do maybe a couple more rounds, and if it is, then I'll just come back in with the closing. So we're just about the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna leave this here, and we'll just pick up where we left off. So we just finished round 29, so we'll be doing round 30 next in part 2. So it seems like we'll be able to do the head, skirt, and arms in part 2, and we might have to split off the hair, the hat, and the assembly in part 3. But comment below, let me know how it's going for you. And I'll see you in the next one. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.